Today I'm heading out into the streets of London to photograph with the Sigma BF and the 35 f2 lens from Sigma. Before we do, on the 14th of September, myself and Sigma are teaming up to do a street photography walk in London. There's a link in the description, go and find out all the information. There's two sessions, one is a morning session, one is an afternoon session. You can join us for both or either or, totally up to you. It's free of charge, you don't have to book anything. All of the details are down below, and you might even get the chance to use a Sigma BF camera during the walk. All of the photos in today's video are edited in my presets. There's a link in the description to those as well. $12 will get you 188 desktop presets. Let's jump into the video and see how it goes. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This here is the Sigma BF. And on front, I've got the 35mm f2, and I'm going to be walking the streets of London. I'm going to walk from here in Covent Garden all the way to Tower Bridge, capturing some beautiful photos along the way with this very unique, beautiful camera. And we'll talk about it as we go. So I think to start off with, see if we can get a nice little reflection here. Now the dials are completely different to what I'm used to. Now typically on a normal camera that I use, on the front I'll have like the aperture wheel, and then on the back I would be using the shutter speed wheel. On this it's all kind of controlled by this dial here, and you can flick between everything. So let's just get this shot here at 35mm. I've kind of makeshift a strap, as you can see. It's kind of like a shitty rig strap, but I do trust it. It is, it's very well on there. I've used a decent knot as well to make sure it's not going anywhere. I've done that because for the first time ever, this is the first camera I've ever used where I feel a little bit bait. I feel a little bit like, ooh, look at this shiny silver camera, come and take it. It's the first time I've ever felt like that. So it would be nice if they did it in a subtle black. It looks amazing in white, in this silver white color. I don't know if they do it in a black color, but I think I would prefer a blacker color because it would blend in with surroundings and be more subtle, whereas this is, well, not subtle. And the way that I'm pulling focus or setting the autofocus is I'm tapping on the screen for where I want the focus to be and then taking the photo. Shall we see if we can get a photo of these guys on the these petty bike things? We can frame their nice pink bikes with some flowers to go along with it. Now, the aim for today's shoot is just to kind of get acquainted with this camera. I only have it for a limited time, and I want to just see, well, how I like it. Maybe it's something I want to buy in the future, I'm not entirely sure yet. And I just want to see how it performs later on at night time and how it performs now in that kind of dusk sunset era. So let's see how it goes. We've got a 24 megapixel sensor, so that means it should perform pretty good in low light conditions. The other thing that's quite difficult to get used to is it has no EVF. So that's the electronic viewfinder. It doesn't have that, or it doesn't have any viewfinder at all. The viewfinder you have is, well, this on the back. So it'll take a little bit of getting used to. Sometimes when I'm out in the street doing street photography, I do like to pull it up to my eye to frame stuff up, but we'll see how that goes, see how I kind of adjust to that. I've done a lot of that in the past, so that should be fine. But there is no flippy screen either. It is just what you see is what you get. That'd be a nice frame with this dude in front of us with the buildings in the background. I'm just getting a nice, there's a mirror up here. Just getting a mirror up. So there's a mirror just up there, circular mirror, and I was just trying to frame the Deliveroo driver in it. In a recent video where I was talking about the new XE5 from Fujifilm, I was walking down here and there's like a reflection shot through a window where you can see a mirror. I wanted to come back and see how it looks at nighttime. It's not nighttime just yet, but maybe the framing works. They've kind of cornered it off now. And I think 35mm might be, oh no, 35mm does work but it's quite quiet, so I might have to wait a little bit. But the colours look lovely on this. Yeah, it's a bit dark, to be honest with you. I could do with this area being a bit more lit up. If it worked, it's on the screen. If it didn't work, then I'll show you the shot from the other day. But there's a nice pocket of light over here where the sun is setting. I'm thinking maybe I can get a nice silhouette shot, well, shadow shot of someone going through the frame. Yeah, that looks good. Right, I'm walking down towards St. Paul's and it looks really lovely. I think at 35, this is going to look quite nice. Let's see if we can get the right settings. Kind of nice with like someone in the... It looks mega, it looks so good with the lighting on it, look at that. I mean, it actually probably looks better in there than it does as a photo, but that looks so sick. See if we can get this cyclist. Meh. Yeah, this is a nice shot. I did try getting one then with a cyclist going through, but I'm not sure how it's going to come out with editing, but we can give it a go. When I go out and I'm photographing around a city like London, what I'm doing is I'm not thinking about like one crazy image. I'm not thinking about one epic photo. I'm thinking about what set can I put together, be it for a carousel post on Instagram, or be it for you know, the shots that I'm going to deliver to Sigma if I want to say, hey look, these are the photos I got with the Sigma BF. I'm going to try and tell the story of the evening, so that sometimes means capturing some of the not so typical photos, like that one I just got, like that abstract shot. So whenever you're going out, don't try and search for like bangers, as people like to call them. Go out and just search for details of a city. You can get your bangers, you can go to places like this and get, you know, the generic beautiful shot of St. Paul's, but as a standalone photo might not be good enough. So I would rather capture all the details as well. While we're here, let's throw it on to probably go f17, also f18, and then we're going to change the shutter speed to a third of a second, so 0.3 of a second. And then we're going to wait for a bus to go through the frame, and it's going to give us that lovely motion blur of the bus going through the frame and having St. Paul's in the background. So we do have a bus on the other side. It's not the shot I was looking for, but it might actually work out pretty good. 1 second is a long exposure to be handheld, so let's see how this goes. I'm very happy with that. I'm happy with that photo. That's turned out really well. So that's, okay, I haven't seen whether or not it's overexposed or not, but I'm fairly confident that Sigma are good, and I think I'll be able to recover that and it'll be fine. Getting a 1 second exposure by just balancing this on the side, pretty impressive. That's not to do with the camera, that's just to do with it's cool, and I'm glad I'm being able to get the shot because it looks pretty sharp. But as we all know, I'll probably get back home and it won't be sharp at all. So down the end there, you can see we have beautiful 22 Bishopsgate. So I'm going to pull focus on that and then just get some stuff in the foreground, like a Rolls going through, nice Rolls Royce. Now up Bow Lane, normally this time of night it's a bit mad, but you do get a really nice shot of St. Paul's. So we'll see how crazy it is with all the people trying to recover from their day's work by having a drink. I mean, it's probably not a bad photo actually, because you've got all of the people in the foreground and then St. Paul's sitting in the background. The good old trusty bank. Can't go wrong with a bank photo, honestly. We have made it to London Bridge, and I think 35, oh, look at the sun on the other side. Oh, I'm gonna have to, I wanna get the shot this side and then I'm gonna jump across the road and go and get the shot on the other side. The shot I wanna get here, I think might be good. Just as people walk through the frame. See if we can get this dude doing a wheelie across the bridge with Tower Bridge in the background. Bringing the energy. Yes, there you go, I'll do. Gonna crop it a little bit, but and I think maybe we can frame it a little bit. So walking down towards Tower Bridge, and there's like earlier, there's all these people chilling after work. I actually think it's quite a nice shot. Oh, that wasn't me. Is he okay? He ran into me. A kid just full on ran into me. I feel bad, bless him. This little tiny kid just ran straight into my leg and fell over. It's actually been a really lovely sunset walk. And I think we could probably finish off in this area. I'm not going to finish off right now, but we'll finish off in this area because I've also only got 13% of battery left. It's lasted all right. Been using it on and off. Not every photo that I've taken this evening has been in this video, so I've actually been out for a longer period of time than you actually think. But I'm actually really happy with how all the images turned out. And in the back of the camera, obviously I haven't seen how they all look yet in post-production. If you've ever been to London and if you've ever taken a photo of Tower Bridge, you'll know that it's really hard to make it straight. And that's because Tower Bridge is actually slightly on a tilt. So it's pretty difficult to get it straight because it's not level with the horizon because it's moved over the years. So it is slightly off center and is always slightly off horizon. So just keep that in mind when you're shooting it. Obviously you're not gonna be able to fix or replicate that, but in post, you might think you're a bad photographer, but the reality is you're definitely not. I think you'll agree that the camera in itself is extremely unique. It's very quirky, it's very different, but most importantly, it works very well. I actually think it's one of the nicest cameras I've shot with. Not because it's technically the best. You know, I've shot with Hasselblads and the GFX 100RF, which are incredibly sharp and high quality. But the Sigma has something that those two cameras don't. The feel. The Sigma BF has this luxurious finish, this beauty. It's almost like an accessory you'd put on the side as an ornament because you don't want to touch it. I don't know if that's what you want from a camera, but that's how I feel about it. I look at it and I go, that's a sexy camera. And I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the silver, maybe it's the harsh edges, the rigid feel of when it's all metal. It feels incredible to use. And realistically speaking, it's not all too expensive for the build quality. And because it's Sigma, they know what they're doing when it comes to lenses and glass. So the whole setup is incredible. Yes, you can change the lenses on front, so it's not fixed. So you have got a slightly compact camera with a changeable lens. I'm saying compact loosely because it's not exactly compact, because it's quite cumbersome. And the actual thing that I found quite difficult was the grip. There's not a firm grip, which is again one of the reasons why this is the very rare occasion that I actually put a strap on the camera, because normally I don't, because there's a good firm grip. I think maybe with a bottom plate or with something you could make it, even a case, it would make it a little bit more easy to carry. But it was a little bit difficult to carry around because there was no, the only kind of real gripping point was the lens, and I don't particularly like carrying cameras with lenses because it's not very good for the mounting. That being said, that is literally my only kind of quirk about it. Obviously it takes a bit getting used to because it's a very different setup compared to other things that I've used, but that doesn't make that a reason for me not to like it. I actually kind of love it, and I think I might get one. I don't know when, but I think it's one of those cameras down the line. I think a lot of people will go, I'm going to get one of those. Not quite like a Leica, but something different and unique, and I love it. With all that being said, create more, stress less, pick up whatever camera you have, go out and take some photos or some videos, depending on your preference. Subscribe, notification bell, and of course, I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, if you didn't see yesterday's upload, I broke my arm. It's fine, it'll be fine, don't worry about it. Coming soon, I do actually have an incredible lens review I'm very excited for.